My dad, he had worked very hard to persuade people to get vaccinated. That was one of the big things that my dad did. They did not want to get vaccinated because it had cow's blood in it. And I'm a Hindu and I don't have cow's blood. That's a holy thing. I don't touch it. You know, they're vegetarians and so forth. And so it was, Dad did all of that kind of thing and they got used to it. And he actually did stuff that some of the doctors didn't do. They had some horrible diseases out there. This elephantiasis, have you ever seen it? It's just horrible. One guy had a little cart to carry his testicles around and they'd grown so big. I mean, stuff like that that you don't talk about very much, but this is the kind of thing. And of course, you know, I don't know if you know, but whenever, back in those days, when a doctor was sent in any place in the tropics, in the British Empire, he had to go for, I think it was 8 months, but I'm not sure, to the tropical medical school to learn how to treat tropical medicine, because there's so many things that you've never seen before. For instance, when Lenny and I were in Calcutta, I got really sick. I was just miserable. It felt like somebody had beaten me up. I was just sore all over and high fever. Had no idea what it was, kind of found out. Have you ever heard of dengue fever? We used to call it breakbone fever. And it's a mosquito bite. And so these are all the things that Dad tried to show them. Later on in life, when we went back, instead of having to take quinine, they had preventive. And if you took a preventive pill once a week, the little malaria things ran around in your blood, but they didn't make a disease, so you didn't get sick. And so we used to get 5,000 pills in a big bottle and feed our kids. Have I told you about giving the kids pills? Well, at the school, the kids, if they weren't actually sick, if you just gave them the pill, they'd send it home to their folks, because I'm not sick, I don't need the pill. But they're actually preventive. And so finally, my husband and I, once a week, he'd take the pills to the boys' dorm, I'd take the pills to the girls' dorm while they're eating. And we'd lock all the doors except the door that I was standing in. And the kids were told, come with a glass of water, and you can't get out the door till you pass me. And they'd come to the door, I'd say, okay, open your mouth. I'd throw the pill in. Now take a drink. Now open your mouth again. If the pill had gone, okay, you can leave. And every week, the whole time, these kids would come and get their pills. And you know, nobody got malaria after that. And before that, we were giving sometimes 17 and 18 malaria shots. And then my little boy, he was just a babe. How do you have a babe take a pill? His bottom was too small to put a needle in, so you couldn't give him an injection. I mean, he didn't have any flesh there. And my dad's a nurse, like I said, and he told us that it's easy. And so he called the little guy to him and said, Denny, open your mouth. He opened his mouth, and Dad put his finger there till he choked and threw the pill in. And after that, every week, my daughter could take her pill, I'd take my pill, my husband would take his pill, and then my little toddling boy would run up to his daddy and open his mouth and say, okay, Daddy, choke me. And down the pill would go. I have silly stories like that. But, and it's very interesting to know that since that time, they've had, the mosquitoes get used to those pills, and they've had 2 or 3 new ones. And as we've made trips, we've been to the Amazon and elsewhere, we've had to take the new pills because the old ones don't work anymore. Those wretched little things are clever. Well, I mean, it's only a mosquito, but it knows how to do something. But once we did that, we had no more malaria. We had one kid die of cerebral malaria, and that's when the doctor helped us to get this kind of thing.